Thanks for tuning in again. On this week's episode, we're going to be with Brandy in Northern Alberta chasing monster black bear. This is her first ever time bow hunting black bear, and she sticks an absolute monster.
This episode of Dirt Nap TV brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Brandy. So how did we end up getting Brandy? What we did is we had a little bit of a competition, put it out on social media, had about 500 people apply. What they had to do is send some pictures in, send some videos in. We shortlisted it down to about 10 people. And from that point, they had to film some hunts and provide us with some video. Well, this is the video of Brandy's. Fantastic job, no guides, her and her husband, got a camera, went out there, knocked our socks off. So that's how Brandy come to be, and we couldn't be happier. She's awesome, out hunts most of us, and yeah, you'll see.
All right, so I am a mom of 4. We are a blended family. I have 2 stepsons who are 11 and 8. I have a son who is 7, and then I also have a daughter with my current spouse who is 2. During the filming of this episode for my bear, I was actually breastfeeding my youngest daughter, so to get out was a little bit difficult. The little bit that I did get out, I ended up having to sometimes run back and feed her. As you can hear in the background, she's playing, making a bunch of noise. We are a very busy household. The outdoors is part of who we are. We try to instill this on our children as much as possible. They are great at following along, but also telling us what they like and what they prefer as well. My eldest son, he was more of a fisherman until he got to experience one of us shooting a deer last year and getting involved in the after process, and he now can't wait to turn 12 and get out there. My 8-year-old son is huge into fishing and loves dirt bikes. My 7-year-old is a farmer through and through. If he could be outside, he would every day. I think he'd sleep outside if he could. And my daughter, who is 2, is slowly following suit. My hubby and I are absolutely ecstatic that our kids follow in our footsteps and hope that they pick up kind of where we are trying to show them what we do as well. So the first day of hunting, again, I had never been out hunting bears before. I had never been out archery hunting before. So to go out completely vulnerable without any sort of rifle that I was used to was intimidating. As we were walking up, we were getting closer and closer to where my bear bait is, and I happened to spot a nice big bear cross our trail. Unfortunately, the camera couldn't catch it because of the angle that he was at, and he didn't see it right away. But I stopped, and I almost freaked out. It was intense to see something that close walk by completely undetected and not know that we were there, or what we think didn't know we were there. As we were getting to the stand and we came up over the hill, there was a bear on our bait, and I gave the little and scared him off. And Ian again had to convince me to continue and get in the stand. It is very intense seeing such a beautiful animal in the wild with no barriers and nothing but your bow.
This segment brought to you by Scent Relief. This changes everything.
So the excitement of the first day of seeing bears and being so close and interactive with these bears, the next day I had my game face on. I was ready to go and not wasting any time. As soon as we were suited up, my feet hit the ground and I was running to that stand. We were ready to go. So as we're sitting in the stand, we hadn't seen anything or heard anything for a while, and we heard a branch break behind us. We happened to look back, and there was a young bear, probably about a 2-year-old, walking straight underneath our stand. We watched him as he went underneath, and you could see that he smelt something and wasn't 100% sure what was going on, but he eventually just walked off.
Well, it would appear that patience pays off. Coming up, you're going to see a tank. Booner, baby.
So as I'm sitting in the stand, it's raining. I'm tired. I had been fed up and almost overwhelmed with the effort put in to bear hunt. We brought a gun in just in case, and I also had my bow. As we're sitting there, we were getting ready to call it quits. We were cold, we were wet, and Ian happened to spot out behind us that there was a nice big boar behind us. I had been so fed up with bow hunting and frustrated that I was ready to shoot him with my rifle. I asked Ian to hand me the gun, and he said, just wait. Let's see what he does. Just wait. And I'm very, very happy that he convinced me to wait, because sure enough, this big boar came walking in, and we watched him for probably about 10 minutes before he turned around to come back to the bait. And as he came back to the bait, I was able to get lined up on him and was hoping for him to angle and stop at the baits a little bit better. But he started to go up towards the hill to exit the bait site. And so I ended up shooting. I let go. And with this shot, the difference of the camera angle and where I was, the camera angle shows that I shot back further, but I actually ended up shooting back further but on an angle, and it went right up into his vitals.
This segment brought to you by Gut Check. Instantly indicates vital or gut shot.
Well, up next is Dan. So Dan came to us similar to Brandy through a competition on the show, and he wanted to go bear hunting. So, I think he read about 12,000 books, and just, asked lots of questions, and off he went. I think he spent roughly about 30 days out in the bush, and he ended up having a tank of a bear come in, and never knowing, right? I don't know if you've ever bear hunted or not, but the first time a bear comes in, it always looks huge. Whether it's little, whether it's huge, you always think it's the biggest bear you've ever seen. And, we might have all told him, pay attention. Every bear's going to look huge and take your time. Well, a huge one came in, and he took everyone's advice, and it came right under him, right under his tree, looked up at him, walked off, and that was the last he saw it. And later that night, he sent me the video and said he had a bear come in, and I thought he shouldn't have passed on that one, but you know what? He learned, and he showed great restraint. So it was a cool hunt for him. So check this out.
Well, we just got out here, refilled the bait barrels. They've been hit pretty hard. We got tons of pictures on the camera to check out. We're gonna have some lunch, filter through that, and hopefully something comes in this afternoon and put an arrow to them. If the crows found it already, then the bears will too. Still lots of oats in the barrel. They like to play with that string too. So. I guess that answers the question of whether or not a bear poops in the woods. Hey. Well, that was pretty cool. He just started climbing up my tree. But I think he's gone. That's a good bear. Had a pretty cool encounter last night. That's the closest I've ever been to something that could eat me. So we're hoping to replicate it this morning and maybe stick an arrow in something this time. Stay tuned.
Well, you win some and you lose some. He tried hard. He put 30 days in there. He had a monster come in, passed on the opportunity. Probably the right thing, not knowing, right? Only bear he saw, so how do you identify if it's big or small? Nonetheless, it was an awesome hunt for him. He learned a lot and guarantee he'll be back at it next year.
This segment brought to you by Black Eagle, the best precision carbon arrows.
Well, they aren't set up very long when this monster comes in. And you can see Brandy's shaking like a leaf. Again, first time filming, first time hunting black bear with a bow. She's shaking, draws her bow, anchors in, and hammers it. Shot's a little far back though. She's shaking. Cameraman's shaking. What do? Well, they back out for the night and they come back first thing in the morning. Best idea they could make? That bear didn't make it 150, 200 yards, piled up. Congrats, Brandy.
I think you're more excited than I am.
Well, of course.
And the bait is what? About that way, right?
Yeah, it's about 400 yards away. There's another marker up on the birch tree.
Hey man.
What? Well, look at the camera. What? Hey, well, we want to see your expression.
Is that a big bear?
Yeah. That's a big bear. Grab his head. Show us his paws.
I'm scared to touch him.
I told you you're going to be scared to touch him. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh, he's got a nice coat. Look at that. Show us the claws on that. Oh. Okay. So
kind of
I'll-
just follow down right here. Eh?
yeah, go on the inside, and then because we'll be going right as far as we can, and then
Right here, eh?
yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Be sure to give us a like and follow on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what me and the team are doing. We'll see you next week on Dirt Nap TV.
This episode of Dirt Nap TV brought to you by these fine sponsors.